At what point do all these tariffs, which seem to come into play almost every day now, really are they felt by your constituents back in Kansas, and do they start to get concerned?
You know, this has been going on already since February in Kansas. The impact of these tariffs are impacting my constituents right now. Even America is seeing the results of this. The price of washing machines has went up 17%. How come? Because we announced a tariff on washing machines back in February, and then my agriculture farmers always get the tip of the spear when it comes to retaliation, and within a week we saw the price of sorghum drop $1 a bushel.
So what's the solution, Congressman? I mean, the president is a man of your own party. Are they listening to you? Is there any way to change this course?
You know, absolutely, the president is listening to me, to us. He called me on the phone from Air Force One about a week and a half ago, and he wanted me to communicate that he loves his farmers. He knows they've been getting the short end of the stick, and there's going to be some bleeding, some hemorrhaging here for a couple months, and to hang in there with him. But what I'm trying to commute to the administration is we need Nafta. We need it done sooner than later. We're facing an uphill battle with China because of a lot of reasons, including their intellectual property theft.
But NAFTA has also caused some concern for farmers. I mean, Mexico has investment and subsidies for their agricultural industry. Canada protects their dairy market. If this is all part of a broader bargaining strategy, is it worth it?
Well, that's a good question. I know for Kansas, actually for all of America, we increased our exports a multiple of 6 for agriculture products since NAFTA was brought around. So there is a lot at risk. There is a path to help us all win on this. There is a win-win opportunity. We've engaged with the Mexican embassy. They're very motivated to get a deal done. Canada maybe not quite as motivated, but there's an opportunity for a win-win here. And I just can't stress enough to the president how important it is to get done quickly. There's so many uncertainties in agriculture right now. We're at 50% of our income, commodities at generational lows. We need some relief, and NAFTA is the quickest path to relief that I can see.
By quick, how quick do you mean? Because this year seems to be already gone given the midterm elections that are looming.
Yeah, yesterday. We need to get NAFTA finished yesterday, and when I communicated that to the president, he said he would not make a bad deal. He understands the pain that we're going through, so we're harvesting wheat right now. We have wheat from last year still sitting on empty airports across Kansas that we have nowhere to go with it. This past week, we saw the price of soybeans and corn go down almost $1 a bushel. So while we're harvesting, these prices are falling, and it's just generational lows for income in agriculture. So there's a lot of bleeding going on across the country.
But Congressman, the solution for that seems to be more trade, not less trade. You want to do more exporting, not less exporting. And it seems that the path we're on is actually going to lead to less trade. It may be fairer in the end. There may be more reciprocity, but less trade.
Certainly, you make a great point, and it's been a horrible roller coaster ride for myself and all my constituents. The president has promised us better trade deals. He holds us accountable. We're holding him accountable. I'm counting on the president to get this done. I'm counting on the USTR to get these NAFTA treaties done sooner than later to stop this bleeding. But think of the upside. There's a $10 billion export upside to China for agriculture alone. So I think that the president's his goals and objectives are the same as yours and mine. But you're right. Right now, we're feeling a lot of pain.
So, Congressman, let me turn to another subject that is really very prevalent across the country, not just in Washington. That's immigration. And we're in immigration. I mean, we've had this tragedy of the children being separated from their parents. Now we have the president saying, basically, you're wasting your time up there if you're going to try to deal with immigration anytime soon. Where are you? Where are Kansans right now on this issue of immigration?
Yeah, it's interesting. We just got some really good polling back from our constituents, and they would support my positions that we need a strong border security, that's first and foremost our top priority, a strong border security. They want us to fix the DACA situation, but the biggest problem in Kansas is an agriculture guest worker visa issue. We have 6,000 DACA recipients in Kansas, but 70,000 people who could be impacted by an agriculture guest work visa, which impacts our economy. We spent 2.5 hours yesterday afternoon as a Republican conference having this disagreement ourselves, but it was a good disagreement. It was a great discussion, and we're working very hard to make sure we have that agriculture visa fix in the bill we're going to vote on and pass next week.
If you get that passed, would that fix the problem of all of these farmers facing shortages of their workforce? Because a lot of them employ people who are not legally documented.
It's going to be a major step in the right direction. But you're right. Kansas has 50,000 open jobs right now. The United States has 6 million open jobs. We can't find people. The economy is so strong, there's no laborers left. This is definitely a step in the right direction. It would move some of the processes over to the USDA, make the entire system more efficient as well.
Given the challenges the farmers are facing, how important will the Farm Bill that was just passed yesterday be?
Oh, it's incredibly important to farmers and actually to America. We're so blessed to live in a country that we only spend 6% of our income on groceries. And part of the reason is this Farm Bill. The Farm Bill policy we've had the last several decades decreases the expenses to that average mom and dad at home with 2 kids. So it's vitally important to the consumers, even more so to the farmers, the agriculture producers who rely on this Farm Bill for 5 years of certainty. So this is a huge step forward yesterday for this country.
So finally, Congressman, you got through the House. Congratulations. What about the Senate?
Yeah, thanks so much for that. You know, it's an uphill battle in the Senate, but I have a lot of confidence in Senator Pat Roberts, a fellow Kansan. He'll have several tricks up his sleeve. I think that they'll get a bill through the Senate next week. It's not going to line up perfectly with ours, but fortunately that'll leave us all July and August to conference it and get it to the president on time before this Farm Bill ends in September. So I'm optimistic. I got a lot of confidence in Pat Roberts.